Good morning. It's Tuesday, June 25th, and as promised, today we are talking about John the Baptist being Elijah. Now, as I started to dig into this, what I found was very interesting. Of course, we're going to start with the prophecy from Malachi 4:5-6. We read this yesterday, and it says, "Behold, I am going to send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and terrible day of the Lord. He will restore the hearts of the fathers to their children and the hearts of the children to their fathers, so that I will not come and smite the land with a curse." We already covered that yesterday. Well, as I started to dig into this, I never found anything definitive about how John the Baptist saw things, other than in John 1, verse 21. John has just is being confronted by the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and it says, "And they asked him, 'What then? Are you Elijah?' And John responded, 'I am not. Are you the prophet?'" meaning Messiah. And he answered, "No." So right there we have John flat out saying, "No, I am not the Elijah." But then when we get to Matthew 11, verses 7-19, this is what it says. "And as they went, Jesus began to speak to the crowds concerning John the Baptist. 'What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? What then did you go out to see? A man dressed in soft clothing? Behold, those who wear soft clothing are in, king's houses. What then did you go out to see? A prophet? Yes, I tell you, and more than a prophet. This is he of whom it is written, 'Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare the way before you.' Truly I say to you, among those born of women, there has arisen no one greater than John the Baptist. Yet the one who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he." So he's pointing out the fact that John lived very humbly. He didn't live like a king. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven has suffered violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets in the law prophesied until John. And if you are willing to accept it, here we go. He is the Elijah to come. He who has ears, let him hear. So we've got a conflicting testimony here. We've got John the Baptist saying, "No, I'm not the Elijah." And we've got Jesus saying, he is the Elijah. As we move down to Mark 9, verses 2-13, it says, "And after 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his clothes became radiant, intensely white, as no one on earth could bleach them. And there appeared to them Elijah with Moses, and they were talking with Jesus. And Peter said to Jesus, 'Rabbi, it is good that we are here. Let us make 3 tents, one for you, and one for Moses, and one for Elijah.' For he did not know what to say, for they were terrified. And a cloud overshadowed them, and a voice came out of the cloud, 'This is my beloved Son, listen to him.' And suddenly, looking around, they no longer saw anyone with them, but Jesus only." Okay, so think this scene through. They have just had God the Father proclaim, "This is my Son, listen to him." And then as we continue, verse 9, "And as they were coming down the mountain, he charged them to tell no one what they had seen until the Son of Man had risen from the dead. So they kept the matter to themselves, questioning what this rising from the dead might mean. And they asked him, 'Why do the scribes say that first Elijah must come?'" So now they're saying, clear this up for us because we're confused. And this is how Jesus clears it up. "And Jesus said to them, 'Elijah does come first to restore all things. And how is it written of the Son of Man that he should suffer many things and be treated with contempt? But I tell you, Elijah has come, and they did to him whatever they pleased, as it is written of him.'" So these disciples are kind of under the assumption that when Elijah comes, something fantastic is going to happen. And instead, what happened to John the Baptist? He was beheaded. So not only were they confused by what John the Baptist said when he said he's not Elijah, they're confused about the fact that he wasn't treated the way Elijah should have been treated within their minds. And Jesus confirms, yes, Elijah has come. Elijah is John the Baptist. Jesus makes it clear. God the Father says, this is my son, listen to him. So the point of this whole message is, who do you trust? Do you trust man that can make a mistake? Or do you trust Jesus? Do you trust God the Father? Do you trust the Holy Spirit? Because that's where our trust belongs. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.